Guilty until proven innocent.
Okay, who's guilty until proven innocent?
Who's ever,
The defendant.
yeah.
Okay, who's the defendant typically?
The
Whoever committed.
paper or the...
Yeah, the paper, the author, this kind of a thing. So you're guilty until proven innocent. What's the standard, though? If Britney Spears wants to sue over in Ireland or a city called Sue, which is known as London in that article, what does she have to prove? Go ahead.
Nothing.
That it wasn't true. Or
That it
no,
wasn't true?
No.
That it was damaging.
That it was damaging to her reputation. Give +2 up here in the front. Okay, anything else? Go ahead.
The difference is that the burden of proof here lies on the suer.
So if Britney is suing the Inquirer, the
Right.
burden of proof in the United States is on
Britney Spears.
on Britney Spears.
And
But when she goes over to London or a number of other countries around the world,
then the burden of proof is on the party being sued.
and if you've got to prove why something isn't liable, it's easier for Britney to win over there. Whereas if she's got to prove that it is liable over here, it's easier for the publisher, which means the First Amendment is protected harder here, better because of that standard. One more, then we'll move.
At the same time,
Give it
though,
+2 on that too.
at the same time, though, the First Amendment isn't necessary, or the laws of the particular country aren't necessarily the ones that you have to deal with because people were suing there just because people had purchased that publication. So
Yeah.
the laws kind of followed where it was convenient for them.
That's true, and that is one of the other things. If you sell so much as one copy online, internet, something is published overseas, at that point, you're now subject to their laws. Give them +2. You gave me the last correct answer. Pick me a category, please.
Let's go with culture for 2.
Political culture for 2. 14. First hand I see. 14. Teddy, just jump in whichever group. Jump in with Flavia since you're back.
Yeah, already did that.
Okay. Look like you're in their group though, Teddy. Okay.
Thank you.
14. What's the significance of the number 14? Oh, baby. Shame, shame. Go ahead, Libby.
The age you're politically mature.
Yeah, actually it is. 14 years old is actually the age of political maturity. +2. Jeff's group, give me another category, please.
Let's
Ooh, that was close. Go ahead.
go with ideology 2.
Ideology for 2. Sex offender. If I'm not mistaken,
That was quick.
I want you to tell me the story of the sex offender. You got married. I saw your hand. You're next. Go ahead. What's the story of the sex offender?
Bueller.
5,
Story of the sex offender.
4, 3, 2,
Some,
1.
These
Go
guys.
ahead, Meredith's group.
There was a man who his child was taken away from him because he was a sex offender.
Okay, +2. Go ahead. What about this?
He had gone to jail and served his time 20 years or, decades prior to the child being taken away.
Okay.
The mother was a drug addict, but
Give another +2.
she was given visitation and the sex offender father was not.
Okay, so there was a man. His name, you remember his name? Wolfhawk was the man's name. Wolfhawk was like 37 years old or something along these lines. He had been convicted, a convicted sex offender, a rapist, if I'm not mistaken, from decades before. He committed other crimes or no?
No.
He had been clean the entire time. He had a 1-year-old son, and the state, I believe it was the state of Pennsylvania, said to him, what again?
You're not fit to be a parent?
You're not fit to be a parent. So they didn't give him custody. Did they give him visitation?
No.
No, because he was a convicted sex offender from 20 years before. Give him +4 on that. Mother? What was the mother's story?
She was a drug addict and she
4.
was younger than the father.
Younger than the father, 3.
And she did get visitation.
She did get visitation even though she was known as a drug abuser at this point. Give him +2. What were we talking about? What was this an example of? An ideology, maybe. There was an ideology from that quiz that I had given y'all that this seemed to represent pretty good. The government taking your child. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I believe Flavia's group, I saw your hand a few minutes ago. Did you have something to add or can you answer that question?
I actually have something to add.
Go ahead, add.
I was speaking about the article about the prostitute that was given AIDS.
Prostitute
Giving AIDS.
yeah.
Yeah.
TT the prostitute.
Yeah.
What about TT the prostitute?
How it's also wait, what was it?
I have an answer to the question too.
Okay, hang on. Let them go through TT first. They're all starting to blush back there. I can see it from back here.
Well, basically, she was either gonna get, I think she was gonna locked up, and either locked up or they're forcing her to, I think, get
She refused.
help.
She refused to get help, and
Yeah.
then they locked her up.
Okay, what was she doing?
She was continuing to be a prostitute.
Okay,
with AIDS.
TT was an AIDS-infected prostitute in small town Texas, I believe it was what it was.
Yeah.
And basically, she had gotten locked up on a number of occasions. They threw her out, back onto the street. She would do it again. AIDS-infected, not getting any medical treatment. What did the state want to do to poor TT?
So,
Give them +6 at this point. Go ahead.
Well, they wanted to,
lock her up and force her to have.
Yeah.
Force her to
Force
get
her to have what?
To get treatment.
Force her to
Oh, force her to get treatment. Okay, I wasn't sure where we were going with the prostitute. Okay, what is this an example of? Well, from those ideologies? It is. Both of these two are examples of populism where the government is coming in, they're regulating morals, they're helping people that can't help themselves. In the first example, it was the little kids. In this example, it was the unsuspecting but entirely innocent customers of TT, the AIDS-infected prostitute. Give them +4 more. Anything else you want to say? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, Jefferson's group. Anything that you guys want to say? I saw a hand before. 5, 4. They already said it. Anybody? Go ahead, Meredith.
Another example of populism is the child who their parents wanted to get Native American treatment for his cancer, and then they were trying to get a court order to take the child over to get medical treatment at a regular hospital.
But it was against their beliefs.
It was against their beliefs.
So the government wanted to force, and it was Native American child, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, the government wanted to force the Native American child's parents to require him to get medical treatment, and initially the mother refused because it was against the medical beliefs. Ultimately, she relented because she was going to be under penalty of law. And again, looking out for the kids, good example of populism. Give them +4. Anything else? Yes.
Another example is the article, Why Say Hello, Goodbye, How Are You When You Can Hug, where the schools wanted to be disrupted because it was...
Let me give you +2 on that. We're going to come back to that. Give them +2 on that. Anything else? Last one.
Yeah, the article about the assisted suicide. And
What about assisted
how
suicide?
the couple, basically, Joanne had terminal cancer, so Edward felt like he couldn't live without her, so they went to Switzerland.
How long have they been married?
6 years.
54 years.
Yeah, they had been married for 54 years. She had terminal cancer, and instead of going through the painful death, she decided for assisted suicide so she could die with dignity.
Yeah.
He took a look at this, and he's like, whoa. Did he have any medical problems?
No.
He had no medical problems, but his argument was, I've lived with her so long, she's a part of me. I want to go ahead and die with her so we can go together. Okay, was he allowed to do this?